Before 11 o'clock, I'm trying to do the video, and here we go. Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio. She is here to answer your legal questions and have fun with Robin and I. We don't want the fun that we have with Vanessa to stop you from asking your serious law-related question. Maybe you were in an accident or somebody you know was. Do you know Laura Burns' son was in an accident? Did you see that on the Facebook page?
No, I did not. I haven't had a chance to look yet.
Fortunately, everybody's okay. Somebody ran through a red light, hit the passenger side.
Oh, my God.
Nobody was sitting in the passenger seat, so the son got out unscathed.
Oh, thank God.
A few bumps and scrapes anyway. So
he's a newlywed, too.
Yeah, young guy. So Vanessa is here to answer questions if you have them about the law. I'm sorry, Laura, but you put it on Facebook. Anyway, so the number here is 622-9622. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing?
You saw us last night playing at the Kiss the Horse thing.
I did, as I drove by.
I said, Robin, this is the truth. I said, how come Vanessa's not here?
Yeah, Larry asked me.
This is your circle of friends. These are the people that you hang out with.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was legitimate.
We were the oldest people there. We have gotten old. We don't fit in with anybody. Everybody looks so young to me now. It's just...
That is ridiculous.
Oh, please.
Ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
Yeah, but we missed you last
night. Hear
you.
Can you move that microphone so it's aimed toward your mouth? There you go.
I absolutely can. Sorry.
So you drove by.
I did drive by on my way to a business meeting.
Oh, God.
Did you have your window down?
No.
She has air conditioning.
I do have air conditioning. It's hot outside. I wouldn't have.
After Joe Reichel kissed the horse, we made it a plan to do the chicken dance. That was the song.
Okay. Yeah.
And it really picked up the spirit of the event.
It did. It was nice.
First of all, my most burning question is, did Joe Reichel do the chicken dance?
No, I don't even think he knew we were doing it. He was kind of in the moment. He was in his glory.
He was too happy kissing the horse?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Well, winning. Not the horse kissing part, I don't think.
Yeah, he was down there a long time now. The horse was eating grass on Angie's front lawn, and he was down there a long time.
No.
I think Angie might have had plans to steal the horse. I was on speed dial.
Oh, okay.
See, I was thinking about you. You want to be Angie's the campaign manager or something, right? No.
Yes, I don't think that Angie even.
Oh, she doesn't know you want to
doesn't
be.
Even. Well, she knows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
It's more of an inside joke. But yes, I do.
Well, you included us in on it.
I did. I
have a microphone.
You do have a microphone. I will include lots of people on it.
What was the legal story this morning? I can't remember. But this is it. The class action suit against the state of Delaware. Have you seen this story?
I have not.
Okay. This is one of those abandoned money stories. Okay, you've heard of these things?
Yes, I've actually gone to the Florida Registry once.
So I kind of wanted to do exactly what you just did, kind of turn it around so we can understand this. The big story is that the state of Delaware apparently is the place where this one company called MoneyGram had its headquarters. So all of the unclaimed money from MoneyGram has been in Delaware, and the other states say, wait a minute, we've had people in our state, we should have their unclaimed money. So
okay, makes sense.
Okay, but that's the big story
on both sides.
But I'm just curious about the little story, the unclaimed money itself. It comes from people who bought money orders and they never got cashed or something.
Well, it's different things. I mean, it's all like, let's say that someone passes away and they don't have a will. Their money or their estate, whatever's left, it calls it estates. That's a
How do you spell that?
I'll write it out.
Escheats?
Escheats, yeah.
It's technical.
What is the first letter? E?
E.
Escheats. It sounds like a mouse sneezing, doesn't it?
Yeah, gesundheit.
Look, just picture a mouse, a little mouse. Escheats.
That's right.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
She's looking it up.
I am.
Yeah.
But this is a good topic for this show because a lot of people might not know that their money when they die just goes into Never Never Land.
Well, it does and it doesn't. I can walk through that.
Okay, all right. First look up Escheats.
Right. For people who want to know how it's spelled, it's ESCHEAT. And then
what does it mean?
It means that the money goes, I keep saying money, but it's really property. It's any kind of property. It could be any tangible property, any type of assets.
Really?
Real property. Any type of property.
So the state somewhere has tractors and bow and arrows and things in an attic or something?
I'm not sure they're in an attic, but theoretically. So what happens is there's no will, so all your property goes to the state of Florida. It escheats to the state. It just goes directly to the state.
Really?
But then the state, it's their burden to prove who really is entitled to this. And most of the time they can find an next to kin. So it's not hard. So let's just say there's a husband and wife.
Okay.
There's no will. It technically goes to the state for a nanosecond, but it can come right back and it'll go to the properties it's supposed to. But then there's situations where people pass away and they're the last one. They've outlived their spouses, they've
Okay.
outlived their kids, there might not have been grandkids. So they just outlive everyone, and it's who gets the money then. And if the state of Florida can't figure it out, or if they can't find the person, they could figure it out, but they can't find this person, it kind of goes into this registry. When people have passed away, you can go on there and look, and you can say, okay, they couldn't find this heir, and for this particular estate, and it'll just be there under
Okay.
that estate's name. But some of the money on this with the state of Florida and all that has nothing to do with people who've passed away. It has to do with people that they just couldn't find them. Let's say there was some kind of proceeds you were supposed to get from one thing or another, sale of stock or whatever it is.
Okay.
And they try to find you at your last known address, but they can't find you. So it goes to the state of Florida, and they hold it until eventually they find you.
And if they never find you, does the money
It
just...
stays.
So why does the state... Now, this is going back to the big picture, but I do want to come back to the individual part of this. Why does the state of Florida and all the other states involved in this lawsuit want that money from MoneyGram when they don't do anything with it but keep it in what do they call it, escrow?
Right, but sometimes, according to different laws, that company can't hold on to it forever. They have to do something with it. Or they want it out of their escrow accounts, or they're going to close down, or whatever the case.
So
may be.
where
There's
would they
lots of-
put it? Like into schools or something?
So they don't put it anywhere. It literally sits in a fund waiting for the person who is entitled to it to come and get it.
Wow.
Okay. So so let's say I died today. I have no will right now.
One, that's unacceptable, and two, that's unacceptable.
I
You're
guess
not allowed to
going.
die, and you're not supposed to not have a will.
Okay. Right.
So
Okay.
we're friends.
But let's say I did. Okay.
Okay.
And I have a son. Wouldn't everything automatically go to him? I mean,
Well, it's not automatic because it goes to the state first.
really?
Theoretically.
So if I have a will, then it is automatic.
Yes.
That's why we need a will.
Absolutely.
Can I do it myself?
Absolutely, as long as you follow the requirements of law.
Which that's why I need a lawyer for that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To make sure there's certain requirements that a will has to have. I mean, they're not complicated.
Does it have to be filed?
No. Florida
No.
does not require that. Certain states do. I learned that out this week because I don't
Really?
practice in other states, so it's not something that I normally have to look up. But
So I could just put it in a drawer? I mean, in my house or
What,
something?
a will?
yeah,
Yeah, I will.
you can put it under your bed. You can put it in your car.
See, when my mom died, she had a will. I mean, she went to a lawyer. In fact, I went with her to the lawyer, and she had everything laid out. But there was some things she forgot, like her organ. I don't mean internal organ. She had a musical
figured.
instrument. Okay, so she hand wrote, "My organ goes to Larry."
She did a codicil. Okay.
Is that what that's called?
The additional.
It was a paperclip. Does that
Right.
make a difference? And then, and then I said, "Oh, I get the organ."
She did a special attachment to the will that was handwritten specifically.
But she didn't go to an attorney for that. I remember.
No, she didn't have to go to an attorney. I mean,
Okay.
as long as it theoretically was witnessed, signed, and all the other little.
It
dated.
wasn't. I don't think.
Right. Well, you know.
But everybody in the family said, "Oh, no big deal.
No one questioned
Yeah.
it. Because no one questioned it, it was okay.
Nobody wanted it."
Then there's that.
Yeah.
Well, how about intellectual property then? Like, say, all of the paintings and CDs that Larry's done, and then he goes, and there's no will, and then all of a sudden, because you know how it is when artists die, everybody clamors to
All of a
get their
sudden it's worth
pieces
something.
and all.
Right. Because
So,
that's what's going to happen.
so then what happens to all of that intellectual property? Like, it's on iTunes and stuff. Does the state get it too, and they can start selling it and making money from it?
I would love
Save
to
the
answer
kittens
that.
from the bulldogs. That was one of my songs.
Meow, meow.
Save the kittens. Save the kittens
It's a
from the
ringtone.
listen. Save the kittens from the bulldogs. Meow.
Meow.
Meow meow. It's
Meow, meow.
a Siamese kitten. It's like a blessing. A Siamese kitten.
It's a ringtone.
It's a ringtone. I am speechless right now.
Thank you.
That never happens in my life. I don't do intellectual property. Is the answer to that
Oh,
question. So I don't know
okay.
the answer to that question.
Oh,
I
okay.
could research and find out for you though.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. You would have to get a will.
Still a will. I mean, if we were going to really do it
For
seriously,
Alex.
we'd sit with you and say, "Hey, can I leave something to everybody?"
Sure.
Okay.
And we'll figure out what you want to leave to people. It's my favorite thing to do.
Really? That is really your favorite thing to do?
One of my favorite things.
Do
Going
you know?
through
Oh,
everything.
you know what I want to tell you?
Yes.
We had a lawyer in here on Thursday. He was with the Veterans Show. And he used to be a lawyer up in New York, and he said after they were gone, he came to me, he said, "You know how refreshing it is to work with veterans?" He said, "I used to represent criminals." And he said, "Now I work with people who are good. They salute me, they call me sir." He said, "It's the best thing that ever happened to me." So do you ever have, like I said to Robin, I wonder if Vanessa has this where you're working for your client and they don't even care about you. They don't respect you. They just, you're theirs. Have you ever had that circumstance?
I
Maybe
believe
in
it's
Miami
called-
more than here.
I believe it's called Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
That's your job.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sometimes 10 o'clock at
So
night.
they treat you.
oh
Yeah,
gosh.
well, everyone thinks in this, it's not a bad thing. And I don't, so please, I think that's just our job. I think there's different, like the guy who works for veterans, he's outside of this. But I think anyone who works in family law, criminal law, your clients believe they have 24/7 access to you. And it's your job as the attorney to explain, no, you don't. But, we do have our personal lives, but that's hard for a lot of people to understand.
You should
because they're
use
going
some
through stuff.
yesterday. You should have used some of your personal life and stopped by, got some of Mojo's food.
See, I should have, but see,
You could have had a beer with us. That
Do you
would have
drink
been
beer?
great.
I do because of Angie and Clint. Her husband used to be one of the owners of Cup of the Irish.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So they made it. I didn't drink beer at all until I started hanging out with my friends. I was drinking tequila and tonic. Don't get.
Oh, there you
go. They didn't sell that at Cup of the Irish. So you had to get used to.
Oh,
Did you ever have the
Guinness and
Irish?
stuff.
The Irish. What was the thing Doug had? The Irish whiskey.
Yeah, in the coffee
I had
with
I
frothy
think-
stuff on it.
We have a phone call coming in, and we do have a good time with Vanessa. I don't want that to make you think we can't address, or Vanessa can't address a serious question. So you're welcome to ask anything, and Robin and I will shut up. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa, could you explain to the audience, being a lawyer, you're practicing lawyer and educated in the field of law, and I'm sure other things. Could you explain to the audience? I had like two small questions and then an observation, and then see if my interpretation would be more or less accurate. Do United States district court judges select the cases they themselves that they want to hear? Would be one question. And the other question is, if a police officer pulls over a citizen and the citizen is not of the same ethnic background or race or religion, if that citizen in a car that's pulled over by that policeman or policewoman is insulted by the occupant of that car, is that policeman obligated to call another policeman over to take over the case? So in other words, where I'm headed with that is the class action lawsuit concerning fraud and the Republican presidential contender Donald Trump, who's now insulted a sitting United States District Court federal judge. He's a federal judge. And now, does that judge have an obligation to recuse himself because he was insulted by the defendant? I would think not. And nor am I able to walk away from a ticket because I may not be a Latin female or a black male cop or maybe I'm Irish and the cop is German. Could you comment on any of that, Vanessa? And I'll hang up and listen.
Good question. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
all
thank you.
of the above. when you get to the DCAs, the District Courts of Appeals, yes, they have, not every single case is going to be heard. So they're going to go through the process. They have to make sure they meet the right qualifications. There's a whole list of requirements that need to be made. Sometimes they're going to hear them just to see if they could even review them at all. A lot of times they're not going to be able to review all of them. You get to go there and they get to decide whether or not they're going to hear your case based on if they have jurisdiction to hear it, or if there's even something to be heard, if there's even an issue. But you get a bite at an apple there. They're going to review your case. But when you go to the next level, then at that level, that's the Supreme Court level. At that point, there's complete discretion whether or not they take your case. And even if you meet all the requirements and you did everything correctly, they still might not take your case. When it comes to the police officer question, that I'm going to go, there is no law, to the best of my knowledge, that says that it exists. And when I say the best of my knowledge, I'm fairly confident in that one. However, that could be different agencies would have different rules. So that would be an agency by agency situation. However, I don't think that that would get into some type of discrimination in and of itself.
Yeah, it would be hard to know religion. It would be hard to know some ethnicity, I think. I mean, it's easy to see black and white. That's an easy one to see, but
right, because they're supposed to not pay attention to that. So that's not even supposed to be an issue, because then when that becomes an issue, then that becomes, well, you treated me differently because of my race.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is, I would think, would be a hairy situation. When it comes to insulting, when a defendant insults a judge, if they had to recuse themselves every time that happened, there would be a lot of recusals. I know, being a prosecutor in Miami, my one judge that I was in front of the longest, she was insulted every day.
Oh.
Every single day. Mm-hmm. Every single day. And because I was in domestic violence court, they have a domestic violence courthouse. So there were, at that time, now there's a male judge, but at that time there were all female judges on the bench in that division, or in every division. So every single female judge was insulted one way or another.
Because of being female?
Or, just because you can't tell me what to do, or why are you telling me this, or you're stupid. I mean, not those words, but they're explicit. But it was one of those situations where the judge got insulted a lot just because they're on the bench and telling people what they could and couldn't do, or sending them to jail. People don't like to hear.
Wow,
my gosh.
It's a part of your world that we don't know anything about. That's the part we don't know about. All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning. If you're having a large party on your property and you're serving alcohol, let's say you have like what they call an open bar, so everybody's responsible for mixing their own drinks, are you liable or responsible for anybody after the party for any of their actions?
That would turn to the same situation. I believe that bars are a little bit different because they serve it on a daily basis and they're held to a different standard in their statutes that explicitly say that. But bartenders are supposed to pay attention to things like that. And if you have, let's say, a professional bartender there, you would potentially be held as an owner to a different standard, but so would the bartender themselves, because they're supposed to pay attention to it. But if it's just the homeowner who's doing it, theoretically, they can come back to you and say you were negligent. Like the family whose member passed away because of the accident, or a family member who got hurt, or the person who got hurt, can come back and say, you should have cut this person off, you should have seen that they were intoxicated, you shouldn't have let them leave, or you shouldn't have, you should have stopped them, you should have served them more. They could have lots of arguments on that. So, yes, potentially that could happen.
Wow.
Well, yeah, like I mentioned, I see it would be an open bar, and everybody's responsible for their amount of drinking that they can handle. So you can't keep an eye on everybody. Some people, they don't look drunk, but they are drunk. I've got relatives that they can drink forever, and they look like they're sober going to church. But evidently, you're liable for their actions after the party, then, huh?
Oh, well, see, for me, open bar was just a free bar. I didn't have to pay you.
Okay.
I didn't have to pay you. That was just
right.
my interpretation of what you said.
That's
It's
right.
Like,
So it's a free bar.
Free alcohol.
I'm just curious about his world where they're sober and going to church. It was an interesting combination.
Open bars are kind of a Wisconsin thing. You just put the booze all over the place, and everybody just let's hang out.
Schleps
It's
it.
a party.
It's a party. Okay.
Yeah, it's a private residence.
Okay, right. That I got. I was just open bar for me, which is
And it's
no one's
free.
paying.
Yeah.
instead of a cash bar.
Got another
Yeah.
phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Back when my parents would occasionally give such a party, there was always a couch for somebody to sleep it off on. They didn't go out into the night in a drunken condition.
Well, see, they were smart
Just
back
a little
then.
thought.
That was nice. I hope you still had the plastic covers on the couch.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Just real quickly, going back to the question about the Donald Trump and the judge that he insulted. His concern, and I'm not trying to defend him, I'm just getting it in my head. His concern was that he has a judge of Mexican descent. He's not going to be favorable to Donald Trump because of the things Donald Trump said about Mexicans crossing the border. And I don't want to stick to that. What I want to stick to is, let's say I'm a man going to get a divorce and the judge is female.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the same thing. I might say something like, I don't want this judge. She's going to, of course, side with my wife, right? But that's just as unfair as what Donald Trump seems to be doing. Am I right about that?
I think they're completely
Two different things?
completely distinct, because you're presuming that the female has a bias against males, and that is not necessarily the case. Because I know, if, like, for instance,
Right.
when a
Right,
client
that would be my
walks,
presumption, yes.
when a client walks in the door, I don't think
Not
that,
mine. I mean, I'm a
understand.
fictional me right now.
You're hypothetical you. You're hypothetical you.
Right.
When a client walks in my door and it's a male client, I view them no differently than my female clients when it comes to a dissolution of marriage. Just because I'm female doesn't mean I'm going to fight harder for the female, or vice versa,
Right,
fight
right.
less hard for the male. They both get the same amount of dedication, and that's because they each have their own.
Yeah.
They're the same. There's no bias. So all the judges here in town, especially the female ones, there doesn't seem to be a bias towards one gender or another. So that one for me is a little bit harder, but I can understand where you're taking someone's specific ethnicity and you've said something negative about it, and that person knows that you've said something negative, which is a totally different situation. Like if the judge knew
I see why you're saying that, yeah.
if the judge knew you said all these disparative things about female judges, that would be different.
I got you. Right. Well, that does make sense. Well, you're a quick thinker.
Some days.
You figured that out before we even had a second to think about it.
Well, no, since the caller brought up about private parties and things, if people are at that private party, whether there's alcohol or not, if they fall, are they liable for their own medical bills, or is that the responsibility of the homeowner?
Well, it depends why they fell and what they argue why they fell.
Oh, okay.
What if
If I
the
fell over your
musicians?
steps because your steps were improperly placed.
What if the musicians were playing the chicken dance and they fell? Would it be the musicians' fault?
Okay, so did this occur at Angela's State Farm? Because if it did, I have to recuse myself. She might have already paid me $1.
Those are the sweetest group of people. You are among the most nicest people in the world.
Well, I
That's
think
why we
so.
said, where's Vanessa? You belong in this. I mean, these are the
Yeah.
people these are the names you always bring up, the same people.
Yeah, no, that's legitimately my circle of
Yeah.
friends was that event last night, yes.
But you had to go somewhere else.
I had to work.
So we felt good. We were old, but we were,
Yeah,
we were
but
good.
we were
Oh,
okay.
hush, hush. My friends will take care of you.
You should have seen us when we were young, though.
Yeah.
One, that's amazing, and I need to go back in time to experience that. But two, those people will be good to you. They're nice.
Oh, no, they're super nice. Are you kidding? I mean, I know
my
you're not
favorite.
kidding. I know they are. They're awesome. They raised $20,000 for a horse. I mean, to kiss the horse.
Yeah.
For literacy.
For literacy, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really good.
The Jennings Law Firm helped too.
Oh, good for you.
We're a proud sponsor of Kiss the Horse.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Vanessa, you always give us a great show. Give us your contact information.
My contact information for my phone is 352-804-0092. Again, that's 352-804-0092. My email is Lane, Lane, @jenningslaw.net.
I got some make goods to do. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you,
We
guys.
missed the whole commercial set. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Hockey Hall of Famer Gordie Howe has died.
Simply known as Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe scored 801 goals in his NHL career, 1,049 assists, good for 1,850 points. Held virtually every scoring record until Wayne Gretzky came around. His family and friends confirm that Gordie Howe has passed away at the age of 88.
Fox News' Jared Max. The Detroit Red Wings, which Howe helped lead to 4 Stanley Cup championships, also confirming his passing on their Twitter account. Tens of thousands gathering in Louisville